Spacey Sims, and we're back with more Cafe Enchante, and Enchante to the cafe. Anyway, and we're just continuing where we left off. We're still in the main chapter 1. We were kind of in the middle of our introductions. Well, we had our introductions, and now we were sitting down for a serious talk type of thing. Wasn't exactly the best place to stop, but we were over time, so we're just continuing there. So, well, you can decide if you trust us or not at a later time. More importantly, we'd like to know, what did you come here to do? What? His eyes squinted a bit more. It was silent. His sharp gaze was upon me, scanning every little detail. Yes? Someone's granddaughter, Spacey Awaki. Wow. We've heard about you a bunch of times from the old man himself. Seems like he used to live in the shop, but you hadn't seen him in a while because work had been too busy. So, why are you here now, of all times? And what do you really think of Enchante? Your answer is very important to us. I had a feeling they also guessed as to why the granddaughter of the shop's owner came, after the shop was abandoned for so long, and that this meant Enchante was at a crossroads. Whether or not you're taking over the shop or closing it down. Miser spoke as if he read my mind. As if reacting to his somber smile, I hold out a letter toward them. The reason I came here is because of this letter I received from Grandpa. If I die, I leave this shop in your hands. Go there yourself and have a look around. If you feel you don't need it, sell it, or you can feel free to make it your own place. That's what the letter says. Lord Soan's final request. I nodded. My fingers grazed the leaf of paper as I looked toward them again. You're right. I hadn't taken time to see Grandpa. But it's not because I didn't want to. I love him. He used to take care of me. If he knew I took advantage of his kindness to escape from my current problems, I'm sure he would have been sad. What do you mean, escape? Right. I didn't want my dear Grandpa to hate me for leaving that place. But in the end, his passing is what brought me this letter and brought me here again. The fact that this has all been a trigger for me to escape that place, that's the truth. Interesting. She's not going to tell us her backstory now? No idea what you're talking about. Sure, you're just imagining things. Someone would never fuss over something so small. He'd laugh like an idiot and then he'd move on. That'd be it. Ignis's words were tinged with sadness. Hearing them, I turned toward the others. Grandpa talked about how important this cafe always was to him. So, if there are any secrets to it, I'd like to know every detail. So please tell me, what exactly is this cafe? What are these alternate worlds? My question made them look at each other. The sound of the shop returned to what it must have been like before we arrived. Silent. Hold on. My sinuses just got super stuffed up all of a sudden in like the last few minutes. Anyway, it is difficult to describe in words. I can say that it is just as you have seen. This is Cafe Enchante. Here there is a gateway to other worlds, a place where others can come to visit. Cafe Enchante, a cafe operated by the heroine's grandfather. Its true identity is a cafe that welcomes customers from other worlds. The heroine didn't know about this until she took over the cafe. Other world literally refers to mysterious worlds other than the one the heroine lives in, existing in different space, time, and reason. While they seem to be products of fiction, they actually do exist, ... in this world. Oh, now his neck is yellow. Interesting. Lord Soan, keeper of Enchante, ran it and took us non-humans in as guests. Non-human, 1. A general term for those that aren't human. In this game, it can refer to anyone from another world. Yes, and that has long been the case here. A shop where distant worlds intersect. A place of fun and a place of belonging. You know, you were still so small, you wouldn't remember, huh? Okay, wow. Please don't be like that you were an adult and we were like, when we were like 4. That's gonna be fucking weird. Wait, did I meet you at some point in the past, Miser? It was such a short meeting after all. It isn't surprising that you don't remember. If that's the truth, had they already been coming to the cafe back when I was still living here as a child? But like, again, you were a child. I hope you were like a baby too, because otherwise that's gonna be fucking weird. Don't make it weird. It's already weird that Kaoru is like the fucking hot older dude, okay? Like, it's fine for me, because I'm fucking old as shit, okay? But it's gonna be weird. She's like, I'm like 18, and he's like 40. It's gonna be fucking bizarre. Anyway. I close my eyes to try and remember. Fragments of images began to cross my mind. I assume she's somewhere in her 20s, because she can't be like, I just turned 18, and now I run a cafe! Like, okay, look, let's just... Most 18-year-olds aren't doing this kind of shit with their lives, okay? Most people my age are... Well, okay, most people my age are, but I'm not. Anyway. Events buried in memories of the past 15 years... Oh. Events buried in my memories of these past 15 years begin to surface. Wow. The main reason I opened this place at all is for the people. Of course, these memories are from when I was a child. It's difficult to recall them. But I don't think I had ever considered them then that the customers I saw weren't normal human beings. Now that they mention it, I feel something nagging in the back corners of my mind. These still fleeting, fragmented memories slumbering within. And some of them come from faraway places beyond imagination. That's right. Grandpa was always so cheerful when he would talk about the guests that visit. It didn't matter if they were human or not. I probably just don't remember, but I'm certain Miser and the others would be in those memories. But they didn't age and we did. That's, again, weird. All of these bizarre stories I'm hearing, I feel like I can believe them all just by recalling the heartfelt words of my grandpa. It's all true, isn't it? About the other worlds, the non-humans. And that Grandpa kept this place open for all of you. I did try to turn down the volume. I unfortunately had to do it in my recording software because it did seem really loud. And I'm like, it could just get... I want it to be a nice background music, not like fighting with me even though I'm loud. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, though I think what proves it the best is our very existence. I also swear this to be the truth, that I am a fallen angel in and out, and have stayed at Enchante for a long time. And this is why we believe this to be the most amazing cafe. However, now that Lord Sohan has passed, things will not be the same as they once were. Kenneth shakes his head with sullen movements. Just imagine it creaking a little while he shakes. You all came to the shop from other worlds using that door, right? So, what happens if the shop was demolished? If the shop closed down and was demolished, I'm pretty sure the door wouldn't survive. Or sold and refurbed into something else. Or if we had never flipped that sign to open. Nothing really. As long as the door stays unlocked, we can come and go whenever we want. The lock? Look at the gate. You see the plate hung on the door, correct? The plate. I assume it's the one that reads open and closed. Right. I see it. But is that the lock? It is odd that our lock is that plate. Gate lock refers to the sign plate on the Enchante gate. Turning it over locks and unlocks it. I mean, you know. It's just as it says. The door's open when it's on open, and it stays closed when it reads closed. As far as we know, it's just as Ignis says. We can come and go whenever we want, so long as the lock stays open. Although it says closed right now, and we flipped it to open, so... Game, gonna need you to keep some consistency here. Though sometimes, some unpleasant things might come through there, so I recommend keeping it open or closed when necessary. What unpleasant things? Aside from you? The kind who would destroy the world. Those who would think of others as lesser beings and murder them in cold blood. That's too dangerous! Grandpa, how could you open the shop without batting an eye at that kind of danger? By the way, You may be worried what would happen to the door to the other world if the shop were to be demolished. But don't worry, the gate can't even be destroyed in the first place. Ale and I have cast a spell on the cafe. It's not perfect, but it turns away anything that would seek to cause harm here. In other words, it seems the shop eluded demolition due to this mysterious power. I see. That's astounding. It does seem rather convenient. Right? That's all it does. You may not realize it, but there is magic in effect all over the place. But if that's really the case, the shop could never disappear. Isn't that right? The shop itself, certainly. This place remaining pleasant or not, well, that's another issue, isn't it? We'd like to stay here, at this cafe, where Enchante's keeper would welcome us non-humans with open arms. Oh, I'll welcome you with open arms. What? I mean, later in your house. A place where you feel welcome. He's so glaring at us. Oh, God, look at him! He's so beautiful! This is why he's Canon Boy. He's hot as shit. He is gorgeous! Although, we do honestly realize how selfish it is to feel this way about it all. A silence once again drapes over the cafe as those words were uttered. While I was still searching for what to say, Miser suddenly stands up from his seat. Well, whatever the case, we do understand that all of this is very sudden. We'll leave you be for a while. All I ask is that you meditate on this for a bit. Wait, but where are you going? All of us have rented rooms from Lord Soan on Enchante's upper floors. Considering it's been a while, we'd like to see them. You rented rooms? Indeed. We would visit frequently, sometimes staying overnight. We all have been paying to rent those spaces. I see. Come to think of it, Il did clearly mention he was living in the shop. It's true that I had yet to see the second floor of Enchante. I really would have never imagined that these non-human guests would be staying up there. Here's the weird thing, though. If Il's been staying there basically living, I get it, they rent rooms so they come and go sometimes or something, but if he's basically been living there, what would the grandfather, like, shove them all? I need you all to leave for a few minutes so I could die. You know, like, there's gotta be some mystery behind his death. I'm just saying. Seems just shady, right? Seems a little sus. Wait, so if the old man's dead now, what happened to our rooms? They haven't been cleaned out, have they? I'm not sure. I haven't been upstairs yet. I don't know if the housing authority or city officials have come to see the property. That's very troubling. Il abruptly stands up. Oh my god, he's gonna have more fucking Otome merch in his fucking house than I have in his room than I have in my house, right? I'm gonna love it. I have valuable treasures in my room. I could not stand it if something happened. He's me right now. Oh my god, what about all my shit? I cannot stand here idly. I must check at once if everything is okay. I cannot wait to see his room. With that, Il rushes up the stairs in a huff. I think he might have flown a bit, even. What in the world? Leave him be. It's just how he is. And this enchantment keeps away anyone that isn't affiliated with this place as it is, and there's nothing to worry about. I'll go check on my room. Come in, Candace. Your room's by mine after all. Right. Though I do not have many belongings to check on, I shall at least tidy up a bit. As they begin to climb the stairs... All right, Spacey. You should think this over for a while. Why don't you make yourself a cup of coffee? Miser, the last one to leave, winked at me as he spoke. After the sounds of their steps faded away, the space around me was hushed in comparison to how it was moments ago. It's funny because, like, when I was reading, like, the little info, like, background on the characters, like, I thought it actually said that Miser doesn't ever actually stay overnight. He might still have a room to chill in, but he doesn't ever stay. It's not weird. But then, this would have been what Enchante would have been right now if those men hadn't arrived. People from other worlds, non-humans, come here to this cafe. Huh. At first, I was wondering if I should even bother trying to run the cafe at all. Now, as I sit here by myself, I'm beginning to question the very nature of reality. Ugh. I need to gather my thoughts. Miser was considerate enough to let me have some time alone. Maybe I should go outside and get some air. I look to the horizon. The sun is setting. I take in its lights and let out a sigh. The cold begins to grip me as the day ends. I sit on a bench and go over everything that just happened. I found that door. It's a beautiful CG. He's gorgeous. Look, he looks so happy to see us. God. I want a gorgeous man that happy to see me. I'm just saying. I meant Miser and the others. Canis, Il, and Ignis. They all claim they aren't human. All of this easily erasing whatever knowledge of the world I used to hold. Can't wait till we meet Kaoru. It's not going to be as much fun without fucking Junichi Suabe purring in my ear, but like, whatever. Look, guys, if you want to hear that, this is why you buy the games, okay? Buy the games your damn self. And play them so you can hear them purring in your ear. It's just... Look, it's not that I wouldn't enjoy that. Like, I know, like, I miss out on so much. With, like, everybody who plays games like, oh yeah, hearing the voice acting and it's so great. It's like, I don't get to hear it. I mean, we could have it on, but then it's like you have to listen to them talk. Wait for them to finish. And then I have to read the line. Because otherwise... I mean, I know, and I've watched people stream other games, not Otome games. But, like, we're okay when there's voice acting. It's like you have to watch and you read it or you're just... But I know that there's a lot of people that watch these that do other things. You look at the CGs, you might glance up on one side, but you're multitasking. So, like, this, honestly, is easier for you than just like, okay, we're listening to voice acting and I'm reading a line like, oh my god, that's so funny! And then you don't know what's going on and you have to, like, read along. Because it's kind of like... And I know there's, I mean, a ton of people who just like, I just skip through the game with this voice acting on, and it's like, but then that just... Okay, look. If that's what you want, the experience you want, then just fucking shell out the money and buy the game, because that's all you're doing is not paying for the game, not helping other games get localized. This, at least, you were experiencing it. I'm making commentary. I'm talking about things. We're having a conversation. It's very one-sided, because I can't hear what you're saying. But, you know, it's an experience. This is different. You know what I mean? But the people who do the game where they just, like, there's no sound and they just skip through, click and skip, and let you... They're basically just... You're watching someone play a game. You could just be playing it yourself. This is a very different experience than playing the game yourself. You know what I mean? Like, talking about it, me talking about it, discussing it with you, like, even though we're not, you know what I'm saying. But it's very different than if I just wanted to sit here and watch and read it myself and listen to the voice acting and not engage in any kind of commentary. I just buy the damn game myself. I mean, I already own the games, but you know what I'm saying? Like, so, I don't know, that just kind of... I know that there's people that's what they want. I just want to, like, watch you skip through it, and I want to listen to the voice acting. And you basically want to play the game, but for fucking free. Like, just buy the goddamn game if that's the experience you want. Like, you're just being a cheap ass at this point. Like, I know not everyone can buy every single game, but budget, buy the games that you want. And, you know what I mean? I throw all my money at these games. Like, I could save so much fucking money not doing this. But I wouldn't have any joy in my life. Anyway... But this is the experience that I hope you come here for, is all of this. We listen to the voice acting at the end. But I get it that I miss out on it. Because, like, it'd be so much more fun to listen to it. Like, if I'm playing a fucking mobile Otome game, I like listening to the voice acting. I like it, okay? You know I'm obsessed with certain voice actors, okay? And Japanese voice acting is just fucking amazing in itself, so I love it to death. But... So I miss so much, but it would take too long to... We would literally take 4 times longer to play the game, because you know it already takes twice as long with me rambling and commentary, but also just we have to wait for them to speak the whole line. And it's like, okay, and now I have to read the line for you. And then we go to the... We would never get through these. Like... And I've thought, and I mean, we could also do it where it's like, we're reading this, oh my god, that's hilarious! But you'd have to 100% pay attention. And we would be changing the format of how we play these games now. If we turn the voice acting on and it's like, okay, you have to read along. If you don't read along, too fucking bad, you're missing out on everything. You know? I don't know. And I've thought of doing that because there were times where I was just, like, when we listen to the voice acting sometimes, we're just like, look, you gotta read along or you're just gonna hear them and not know what they're saying because I'm not gonna reread the lines. But I don't know if we could go a whole game doing that, you know? Anyway. Ow! I know it was a cliche, but I pinched my cheek to make sure I could still feel it. I did. So that meant this is all real? I pinched my elbow and my hand, but of course, the result is the same. Sitting there, I take a breath deeper than the deepest ocean. It seems like every guest Grandpa rented to developed a meaningful friendship with him. And the shop itself, certainly. And this place remaining pleasant or not, oh well, that's another issue, isn't it? We'd like to stay here at this cafe, where Enchante's keeper would welcome us non-humans with open arms. Holding this irritable feeling, I let out a groan. It was a sound no one would expect to come from someone like me. What do I do? The sunset, so pretty. But I can only escape my reality for so long. As if to try to find an answer, I open the letter from Grandpa once again.
To Spacey. I was originally just going to leave a message with you over social media, but I guess that's not suitable for a will. They want me to write you in a letter. Nice sentiment, but I prefer the keyboard.
That's so cute, our tech-savvy Grampy. Honestly, he always loved breaking the mold. A bittersweet feeling draws a smile. I bite my lip as I read over the letter again. An official will was delivered to my parents, so this is basically just a personal message from my grandfather to granddaughter. Most of the content was just random chatter. Questions about me eating properly, making sure I was being nice to my parents, and if I was doing okay at the company where I got my job. Things like that. I'm guessing we have a reason why we don't like our current job. When Grandpa would come to the house every so often, we had so much fun talking. He was sensitive to how I felt. He never did try to pry too much into my daily life. I guess this letter, it helped him work through all of that concern he must have had for me. Okay, so we're obviously probably in our 20s, I would assume. Probably early 20s, right? We got a job, we're out of college. I got this full-time job and I don't get to see my I mean, that's kind of what happens when you get older and if you don't live near family, you don't get to see them as often because you work so fucking much, because it's like work-life balance. No, it's pretty much work, and then there's work, and then there's maybe you're home, and then that's it. That's all you have time for because you gotta fucking work again. Like, it's insanity. There is no work-life balance. Like, your work-life balance is basically make sure your work is your life. It's awful. I actually work for a decent place where, the work-life balance is actually okay, but it's still, it doesn't matter unless you, absolutely... My job is the best thing ever. It's the greatest thing. I love it so much. It's still stressful, and you're still I don't want to do it. Doesn't matter how old you get. Monday morning's still I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I feel sad when I see people who are in their 20s having existential crises. Oh my God, I have to do this for another 30 years. Oh, sweetie, you're going to do it till you die. How do you think those of us who have been doing it for fucking forever feel? It's I'm in that same boat. It never gets better. It doesn't. It doesn't get better. But then again, if you do something you absolutely love, I absolutely love this, it's my job, then what you love becomes stressful and it's not fun anymore. So do a job that you enjoy, but not that is your absolute fucking passion. I love playing these games. I love playing The Sims. I could not do that for I would love to be able to do that for my job and make money doing it, but there's no fucking way in hell I would make enough money doing that as I make it my real job, okay? I'm just saying. But if I had to try to script, it would be hell. I do this for fun. I make absolutely no money off of it, but I have fun doing it, and I do it. And yes, I still put responsibility on myself. Oh my God, I got to make sure I record, and I got to have stuff up, and we got to do that. And I make myself responsible for something that's supposed to just be a fun hobby. But if this were my job, it would just be awful. It wouldn't be half as fun as it is. It's fun because I can be hey, I put pressure on myself, but I know how to manage that. But if I had to deal with all the pressure of everything, okay, I got to make sure everything goes up, and then this time, and then oh my God, how am I going to pay my bills? Because and then YouTube's messing up things, and then there's this is not, and no, just can't. Especially now with YouTube being assholes with their ads. Everyone uses ad blocker to begin with. The people who didn't are going to use it even more. So, well, there goes your income. Go fuck yourself. It's kind of I mean, so the 14 cents you were making is now down to 4 cents. And you're like, so all those people who rely on this for a living are kind of fucked. So, that's why you just do it for fun. It's less stressful. But anyway, that was just a rant. Look, working in corporate America is always going to be stressful and not fun. But I work for a decent place. I don't love my job, but I can do it well. That's the problem. What I can do well are not things I enjoy doing. I'm really good at giving presentations, but I fucking hate them. Who enjoys that? I mean, there's some weirdos that are like, I love getting up in front of a crowd and doing... I hate it. It stresses me out, but I'm really good at it. Probably because it stresses me out so much. Like, I'm so stressed out that I'm like, okay, I gotta prepare and I gotta focus and I gotta do that. And it's like, but I hate it. You're so good at this. I hate it. I just don't, like... And the things you love, you're like, I love doing this, but you suck at it. Oh my god. Fuck my life. Anyway, let's just... Before I have another crisis. Look, I'm already having a fucking midlife crisis, okay? I don't need any more. And an existential crisis. My whole life is just a fucking mess. Let's just get back to this and figure out her fucking mess. Triggering. I'm sorry, Grandpa. Yeah. Oh. It's difficult to talk about out loud. Ooh, okay, here we go. But the food supply company where I was hired was infamous for being strict about the work. Ugh. That became apparent right away once I started my job there. The sales department would go door to door selling health products and supplements that were basically scams. As an office worker, I dealt with all the complaints that came from customers each day and night. Oh god, she's on the phones, that's even worse. They brought me on right out of high school, even though I barely made the cut, so I forced myself to endure the labor. Okay, so she could be like 18 or so. But after, well, I would say she was probably 4 or 5. She's got to be at least 20, because like she was probably 4 or 5 when she stayed with her grandfather. It's been 15 years, maybe like, you know what I mean? And to have you, I have some memories from when I was 2, but that's still kind of rare. I assume when you saw that little picture, she could have been like 4 or 5, So, I have no idea how old she's supposed to be, but after so many days of working there, the ringing of a phone would trigger me. I feel that. I hate phones. I don't like answering phones. Please don't call me. No, don't do it. I can still hear my boss yelling. And maybe this is good for you. You can always be replaced. Just do what I say. You have nowhere else to go, do you? No one needs you. I picked you up, so you better be grateful. I was tired, bitter, and just wanted to quit. And now our answer's in our hands. Thanks for dying, Grandpa. Wait a minute. This is... Fuck. It was at that time when I got Grandpa's letter, which I'm looking at right now. If things get tough, you can always come back. This shop was an old man's hobby. But if it means something more to you too, that's just fine. Your life is in your hands. You choose to live it exactly how you want. I mean, this might be better than that fucking job. I'm just saying. I folded the letter and take a deep breath. You're like, oh, Grandpa, thanks for dying right when I needed it. Fucking awful is that? You're like, but that's the sad part is shit like that sometimes happen where you're like, this sucks. It actually kind of helps me. But it sucked. But wait, the fuck? Your favorite grandfather just passed away, but he left you millions. Grandpa! Oh, that's good, because I was about to be homeless. Like, it's kind of sad, but at the same time, I guess something good came out of your grandpa dying. You try to look at the bright side in a negative situation, but it just makes you feel like a dickhole. Anyway. I fold the letter and take a deep breath. There's no one here to guide me now. But still, I really hate that there isn't. I know I just want things to be easy. I think of what Grandpa would say, wishing that he were here right now. This isn't going to be easy, but it's probably a better option than the shitty job you were in. Huh? I thought they went to check on their rooms. He just walks outside dressed like that. What are you doing? You go back inside and change, young man. Actually, don't. I love you. My face lifts up at the doorbell ringing to see Miser standing there. Well, I'm the only one who wasn't actually staying over at Enchante. I wasn't really renting a room either, so I was just kind of wandering around inside the cafe. But I did come to the cafe every day, though I did have my Demon King duties to attend to, so I usually left at night. Miser smiles, adding that he'd continue to come if I were to take over the shop. He then comes to sit on the bench with me. Like, do you ever sleep? He's like, no. God, he's beautiful! Stop it! Look at that face! It's so perfect! How? Okay. I can't when his sprite is posed like that. It's beautiful. It's like, glorious. God. I gotta be honest. I actually like the art in Pio Fiore more. Like, when I first, I obviously was gonna get the game, but I was like, oh, I definitely like Pio Fiore more. I'm not, like, I do really actually like the art style in this. Like, once you're in it. If you compare the two, you know what I mean? I'm like, but once you're playing this, it's like, no, I really do like the art style. Like, even us, we're cute as shit. Like, and he is gorgeous. Yeah, no. Okay. No, I dig this. We're playing two really fun games. Oh, I didn't expect that. I'm sure it's not as bad as ill, but I did imagine that you'd be living here too. Do I look like that much of a mess? You actually thought I was like him. Ill is a mess? I couldn't really see that at all. More importantly, is it okay for you to look like that out here? Oh, don't worry. Demon Kings have a number of ways to cheat. Fiddling with a consciousness is easy. Cheat, a favorite word of Miser. It often means something so strong it seems doubtful. He wraps up the strange things he performs with this word, probably because explaining is a pain to him. He's a Demon King after all. While he can easily do most things, such as acts of destruction, there are a few things that he's not very good at. Perception obstruction. Magic used by Miser on himself, since he would be seen as suspicious when he goes outside. I mean, he does have horns. Apparently, surrounding people only see him as wearing normal clothes. He uses a glamour, basically. He stretched calmly, saying that scary fact. I wondered how detached from humanity he really was. I mean, just look at his clothes. His face, the way he talks, the way he laughs, how goddamn beautiful he is. How cute he is when he blushes, his little fang going on there, like pointy ear. I just love him. Maybe he doesn't look that different yet. Oh, were you still thinking about it? Sorry to interrupt when I suggested that you do that. Oh, no, it's fine. Actually, in all honesty, it was helpful that he came to chat. I couldn't help but feel like thinking about this on my own would just get me down. Hey, is that the letter from Sohan? As he pointed to the letter, I realized I forgot to put it away. Oh, yes it is. I was holding it to my chest out of reflex, probably because it was taking me through all of those memories and emotions just now. Responding ambivalently, he stares at the letter for a moment, then speaks. So, about Sohan. Did you know he couldn't eat spicy stuff? He had such a hard time with hot peppers. What is that face he's making? What in the world is happening? His sudden comment caught me off guard. He also has no pupils. Huh? I never knew. Grandpa always seems so sprightly. Right? It was a quirk for show. He had issues with other things too. It wasn't a quirk for show. Okay. He had issues with other things too. Like cockroaches. Really? Well, I can't deal with cockroaches either. Miser continued on, speaking kindly of the grandfather I didn't know. Though I'm sure it was a tiny bit of things he wanted to say. I could tell these memories were very precious to him. Sohan, he was pretty good at pouring coffee, despite how much he didn't fuss with the intricate details of things. Yeah, it was only when he poured coffee, though only might be a bit mean, that he was so intentional and serious. Miser nods in agreement with my comment. Demon Kings, Knights, Fallen Angels, and Beasts. While we're here, we were just guests. Ordering coffee and eating snacks. You can always just relax here. And that's the sort of shop this is. That's why we love to be at this cafe. It's why we love Enchante. You gotta go. Stop looking at me like that. I will do anything you ask me to. Like, literally anything. You want me in a cage? I'll fucking get in a cage. Just whatever you want. God. You're not gonna ask me, are you? To take over the cafe? Well, yeah, I guess you're right. It's hard to put it into words. It just wouldn't feel right. I mean, as much as I'd like you to. Laughing a bit to himself, he stood up, looking satisfied somehow. Anyway, I know this is happening so fast. I'm sure it's hard to make a decision. After a nod in response, he pauses for a moment, then speaks again. Spacey, are you doing anything tomorrow? If I remember from what Sohan told me, you work northeast from here, don't you? Are you going to go home already? Tomorrow? I don't have anything planned. As for work... We quit, didn't we? We got fired? Quit? Perfect. Spacey? Oh, right. Yeah, I don't have anything planned. I see. And then how about you come back here? To Enchante? Yes? If you don't mind, of course. If you have the time, I'd like to talk with you some more, but not necessarily about the cafe. I want to know more about you, and I'd like you to get to know me a little better, too. I want to get to know you so all the betters. So much so. God, I love you. Miser gave a smile that didn't look at all suspicious and was actually friendly. I haven't been asked a question like that in a while, outside of a family context anyway. I put up my guard and reflex and probed him. And why would you want to do that? Because this meeting was destiny, of course. I'm just kidding. I don't necessarily know the way you leapt into my fucking arms. Even if it was a joke, he had the guts to mention something as cheesy as destiny. And him saying it with such a carefree smile, it probably is, oh god. Brought a smile to my face as well. Yes, it's possible that this is destiny, considering it would be impossible for a normal person to meet a demon king. Oh? You finally believe that I'm a demon king? Well, I wouldn't get anywhere if I didn't. So you're compromising then, If you're still suspicious, can I show you evidence that would change your mind? Evidence? Your demon form? What if I were to romantically... Oh my god, look at the way he's looking right now. My god, he's so fucking beautiful. Break the sun into pieces, or remove the stars from the sky without a trace. I could do that much if you were to ask me directly, you know. Is that romantic to you? Like, his smile scares me, as if to say that he would actually go through with that. You're a little dangerous, and I like it. Well, with that in mind, I'll be waiting for you here at the cafe tomorrow. But I'm not who should be saying that. I'll think about it. I'll consider whether or not I'll return. Even if I were to start heading back now, I'd be home around midnight. Considering how dangerous that might be, maybe it's better if I stay here tonight. But I'm a bit reluctant to stay at Enchante with all these people I don't even know. For now, I let Miser know I'll be leaving to get a hotel for the night. Okay, got it. I'll let everyone else know. Will everything be okay with the lock? Il and Canis will stay behind, so it's okay. You can leave the gates to me, too. Alright then, Spacey. See you tomorrow. Right, see you tomorrow. Oh. What's wrong? Oh, no. It's nothing, really. I haven't said see you tomorrow to anyone in such a long time. It really was nothing. Outside of work, I just didn't seem to live the same way other people did. Miser didn't make me feel weird, and he replied shyly, Me too. He smiled with an endless kindness. Okay, he's hiding something. Like, I'm sorry. Like, oh, he's so sweet and wonderful and suspicious. I love it. Like, you're so sus. I love it. It was then I realized that I was no longer just considering coming by tomorrow. Once I got to the hotel, the promise I made to see Miser became rather clear. The hotel I was able to find was very nice, considering how little it cost. After taking a shower and changing, I lie down on the bed in the room. I'm so tired. It's definitely due to mental stress. It's time I get to sleep. I let out a yawn as I reach out to the light by the pillow. No matter how many times I think about it, I really just experienced something insane. Though I no longer thought it was a dream. You wake up tomorrow and you go to the hotel and there's nobody there. Still feeling the small morsel of excitement toward visiting Enchante tomorrow, I close my eyes and give in to sleep. Interesting. I hear a voice. It sounds like a child. Someone crying. Memories? Oh, what is happening? With those backgrounds. Solitude is lonely. My mind was blank and I had no idea where I was or when this was. Like, it's like the sky, but it kind of looks like sand on the left there, maybe? I don't know. Or it could just be sky. I've been waiting for you. A person appeared without a sound and stretched out their hand. That looks like Miser's hand, I'm just saying. Their trembling fingers sank into my chest. Okay, that doesn't sound good. They literally sank in. They plunged in. Like a hand submerging into water. Ugh! My heart felt like an alarm going off. My body shook in pain. Unable to breathe, I could feel my consciousness slipping. Okay, he can't be evil, and we can't have a bad... Okay, look, our happy ending cannot be bad. Do not give me that shit. I hate it when they do that with games. They're like, look, it's a happy game, and terrible things happen to you. No! Can we just have happy endings that are happy and not rip my heart out emotionally? Like, can we just not pull a fucking Toa, okay? Can we not fucking pull that shit? We're like, this is the true ending. Fuck you! What? Why would you do that to me? I'm not over it. I will never be over it. I have PTSD, okay? It's PTTSD, post-traumatic Toa stress disorder. Toa stress disorder. Wow. I also have PTTSD, post-traumatic Toa stress disorder, because he makes me angsty and angry about putting me in a cage, even though now I like it with some people. Anyway, but that looked like Miser's, and I'm just worried he's a demon king, and he's being too nice, and man, I'm too suspicious. But there was something more harrowing. Help me. It clung on to me. This unknown plea rang in my head. It was so pitiful, so sad. I tried batting away the hand, but I just couldn't, no matter how hard I tried. Well, see, this is the fun thing about not having voice acting, because sometimes if that voice came out, you'd be like, oh, that's so-and-so's voice. It's absolutely. And sometimes you don't know without the voice acting on, and it helps prolong the mystery, because I like to spoil things for myself sometimes. It's like, oh, this is totally this, right? And then it happens, and you're like, son of a bitch! Like fucking Black Butterfly. I'm like, we're all fucking dead, aren't we? Yeah, we're all fucking dead, okay? Like, look. Ugh! I woke up to the sound of my heavy heartbeat. It took me a moment to realize the space around me was just the hotel room that I had booked for the evening. Yeah, I mean, that nightmare didn't have anything to do with the demon people we met. I'm just saying. And his route is last. Now I'm sus. I don't remember everything very well, but that definitely felt like a nightmare. In an attempt to dig up the memories from it, I grabbed the sides of my head. Just then the alarm goes off. Look, perfect timing. I look at the time on the clock. It's already this late? I have to hurry or I'll miss checkout. I fling myself up from the bed and start to get ready for the day. Then why did you set your alarm that late? I rush through checking out of my room and leave the hotel quickly. My feet were moving on their own, making their way towards Enchante. Though I inadvertently made Miser a promise, I actually began to feel a little excitement to go back there again. I didn't have a solid conversation with each guest yesterday. I need to do that today. Conversation about things that don't necessarily have to do with Enchante. We get to talk to... Okay, so the first chapter, I don't know if... Like, we talked to Canas, we talked to Il, we talked to Ignis, we talked to everybody, so... I was hoping for a fresh start today, especially after my terrible dream, and I was walking along when all of a sudden... I heard a clack. It was from a little up ahead. Something appeared. It bounced once, twice, and was rolling toward me from the street. Oh, there's a lot of main chapter. Oh. Yeah, there's 8 main chapters. Okay, so the main section seems to be quite long before we bounce into other people's routes. I've heard that, I think I read in the beginning of the guide that each person, except for Miser, has 6 chapters. Everyone else has 4. So they have shorter routes, like, specific to them. than the quote-unquote main route. So we'll be in the main route for a long-ass time. Anyway, it bounced once, twice, and was rolling toward... Okay, this is going to be intriguing. Curious about what it was, I bent down to pick it up off the ground. A pen? Didn't seem like a regular pen from a department store. Beneath the navy surface of it were a set of initials engraved in brilliant gold. This must have been custom-made. Oh my god, is this Kaoru? I'm just going to guess it's him. Oh, my apologies, young lady, but that belongs to me. Thank you for picking it up. I looked toward the person whose initials must be the ones found on this pen. It's going to be... Oh, hi! Yeah! Oh, dear God. I'm pretty sure in the descriptions of the characters that Atome Kitten puts in, I laugh my ass off. Well, for Kenneth, she puts headless hunk, Tin Man with a green thumb. Okay, that's all you need to know. Ignis is hot-headed tsundere, those ab scars, though. Like, I mean, she's not wrong. But for Kaoru, Dilf, rich daddy coon. I mean, with the voice of Junichi Suabe. Yeah, I mean, hi. Can you just not? Can we not? But, like, rich daddy coon. Dilf. Yeah, wait a minute. Oh god, he's got a kid, doesn't he? Oh, son of a bitch, he does. I bet he does. Damn it, I don't normally... And you know what? That isn't not surprising, because in the voice where you can change like the voice settings for like certain character voices, there is another character with the last name Rindo, and I was like, wait. That would make sense. He really is a dad, isn't he? Fuck! You know, that's the only negative to your character. I don't want to be a stepmom. I don't like kids, so... I don't mind. Just the... Well, he is like... hot dad. Okay, except for the dad part. I don't like kids at all. So that is not a turn on for me when I play Atome games. Like, oh, and they talk about babies or I got it ruins it. Also, the like, I've got a kid. No, that ruins it for me. I'm gonna need you to ship that brat out. Like, just go away. What? We had one game where I was like, you have a kid, and you know what? I don't mind it. What the hell one was that? Oh, I probably would have survived in Color X Malice if we had the route with what's-his-face. He had a kid. Okay. Maybe. Maybe I'll accept it, but I don't want to deal with it. Can we not deal with it? But anyway. This hotness. We get some good CGs right off the bat. Anyway. Over here. Sorry, the car's already running. Would you mind bringing it over here? Huh? Oh, sure. The man was wearing a casual suit as he looked in my direction. Yeah, I'm casual suit. Like, he's like wearing a fucking vest, bitch. And driving gloves. Hot. I walked toward him, brushing some of the dirt that had gotten on the pen. I hand it over as he gives me a smile. I feel like he threw it. To see, I mean, he's like, I just dropped my pen. You flung that fucking pen, and you flung it sexy, I bet. And I bet there was, like, the hair, you flipped your hair, and there was, like, gleams. I mean, it just happened. You can imagine it. You see the anime fucking intro for him in your head, and I watched too many animes anyway. Thank you. I was writing a note and it slipped. I'm just glad it didn't roll into the sewer. You were writing a note and it slipped with fucking driving gloves on? Bull fucking shit. No problem. It's a beautiful pen. I hope it didn't get scuffed. I was about to say goodbye when... Miss, can I ask you a personal question? What is it? I'm not from around here and I don't know the streets very well. That's not a personal question, Spacey. Oh, but I'm not asking for directions. I just... Well, I said it already, didn't I? I want to ask you something personal. What? But, right. I feel bad you're just standing there. Can we go to a cafe? Maybe one nearby? I'd be happy to treat you to something. And consider it thanks for returning my pen. You threw your pen at me so that I would pick it up so you could ask me to coffee. You know what? I appreciate the hustle, buddy. What do I do? Is this about to be one of those instances of coercion I'm always hearing about? She's so suspicious. I would be too. I'd be like, why? Why do you want to take me to a cafe? I know it's not human trafficking. I'm not nearly sexy enough to be trafficked, and I'm not sexy enough for this hotness to want to ask me out. What the fuck is happening here? I need to find a way to get out of this. I'm sorry. I appreciate the offer, but I have a few things that I need to take care of. Oh? That's unfortunate. What things, if you don't mind me asking? And do they have to do with Cafe Enchante, where the Demon King and Fallen Angel hang?
I can imagine that there's no way our face does not belie that we know this.
Now he had my attention. How do you know that? Was this person like Miser and the others? Thank you for the honest reaction. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. I'm not anyone to be suspicious of, okay? Spacey Owaki. Just so you know, I was an acquaintance of your grandfather's, another regular at Enchante.
Like, I'm not anyone to be suspicious of. Says every single suspicious person in this fucking game. Every one of them. I'm not suspicious, okay? You have flames coming off of your fucking body. You don't have a head. You're an angel, and you are just the most suspicious fucking thing that just rolled out of that suspicious fucking door. But okay. And then this guy, I'm not suspicious. You threw your pen at me and had a sexy anime intro in my head. But still, fucking suspicious. And then you're saying you're not suspicious. That's the most suspicious thing anyone would ever say that is actually suspicious. I'm just saying, like, everyone in this game. Did they do it on purpose? Did they do it for the lulz? Because everyone's like, I'm not suspicious, okay? I mean, I feel like that's the first thing a suspicious person would say. Like, I'm not crazy, says the crazy person. Okay. All right. Anyway.
You knew my grandpa? Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Allow me to introduce myself.
Hi, sexy sprite.
Kaoru Rindo. My name is Kaoru Rindo, and so you know, I'm just an ordinary human, okay?
Oh my god. Oh, he's got like a gun holster. Yeah, that vest. I'm sorry, you put the man in a vest, and I love it.
Mr. Rindo, a regular at Enchante. I let down my guard after he mentioned he was a human, but only a little bit.
Her face is like, you're so fucking suspicious.
How did he even know my name? Ignis and the others didn't know who I was before hearing me say my name. I'm sure he could tell how guarded I was when he looked into my eyes. Not seeming to care much about that, Rindo continued speaking rather casually. I've heard rumors about you, and about so on. Did you come here to take over Enchante? Well, no, I hadn't decided on that yet. Also, his gloves are half gloves. They don't even have, like, they literally don't even cover the bottom of his palm. What is the point of that aside from just being interesting? Yet, huh? Though, just by looking at you, I can tell you've already been influenced. This is beginning to be annoying. Annoying? Oh, I'm talking about those non-humans at Enchante. I know I'm a stranger and you'll probably find me suspicious, but let me warn you. Don't take over that place, okay? And why is that?
Oh, this is interesting. I thought he was going to be like, oh no, we're all pals. But he's like, don't do it.
You're super sus. I think you're the third route we go down. The reason's very simple. Those non-humans are the very essence of danger.
Very essence of strangeness, but... And Miser probably danger, because he's the last route. And I think he tried to rip my heart out in my sleep.
I had a dream like that as a kid.
Not that they were going to rip my heart out, but it was basically like white gloves came out of the darkness, just like that hand came out of the darkness, but tried to choke me to death. I thought Mickey Mouse was trying to fucking kill me. I mean, I wasn't like petrified of Mickey Mouse, but I woke up like, I feel like Mickey Mouse was trying to strangle me because it was like white gloves. I'm just saying. And that's one of those dreams that even being like 7, 8 years old that you had just sticks with you forever. You're like, that was seriously weird. I remember it 500 years later. Anyway.
Rindo spoke without any ill will, but also without a fragment of restraint. One of them aside, they all appear to be normal at first glance.
One of them aside, they all seem kind of normal. I mean, I wonder what... No, we know who you're talking about.
They can hold conversations just fine, but in the end, it's all for show. They're entirely different from human beings. They're freaks in human clothing, beyond the reaches of what's considered normal. Monsters, creatures, evil spirits.
You know what? Just for that, I'm gonna go fall in love with the headless dude. Because he's really the weirdest one out of all of them.
I'd be worried to send a sweet girl like you to a place where such creatures gather.
Sweet girl.
Oh, sweetie. You don't know the cages that I willingly crawled into. I began to feel a little angry at the things this man was saying. Maybe he's pushing us to act, and then we're like, just for that, I'm gonna run the cafe. That was your goal all along. She looks pissed. I know I don't know everything about them, but they were guests of my grandfather's, and I know they were people he truly valued. I wish this man wouldn't say anything so bold as to contest that fact. Excuse me! I began to protest, but was interrupted. Oh, I'm getting a call from my subordinate. Sorry to keep you for so long. I'll have to get back to work now. Goodbye then, Spacey. If you do decide to stay there, I suppose we might meet again soon, Monopolizing the conversation once again, he then disappears. What a bitch! I love him. Huh! I didn't get to reply! But he talks like Junichi Suabe, and we fucking love listening to him talk, so... Look, the only thing that could be better is Daisuke Ono purring in my fucking ear. Okay? I'm just saying. He could have done that role. No, you know what? No, it does seem like a Junichi role. Yeah. He didn't seem to think highly of Enchante, considering he was a regular there. Right. It would be best to talk this through with Miser and the others. I decided to cut my rumination there and hurry along the road to Enchante. I mean, he purposely threw his pen at us. It wasn't a fucking accident. I know we're a little under time. Alright, we'll try to go a little bit longer. Because it's like we're kind of at time. But anyway. I don't want to go too long. Before I enter, I pinch my cheek again just to make sure. With Kaoru Rindo and that confrontation... Kaoru Rindo is really hard to fucking say fluidly. And that confrontation just now, too, I decided to accept yesterday as reality. But still, I was nervous about going inside. I walked to the door and grabbed the doorknob. Hello? Not knowing if I needed to, I let the cafe know I'm here by taking a step inside. Huh. I thought for a moment that I stepped into a completely different shop. I look around in a panic, but the door did look the same, like the same one I saw yesterday. However, what I saw was not what you'd call a regular shop at all. We just walked into a magic garden. What was laid out before me appeared to be an entire world. This is awesome. Look at how beautiful that thing is. The gentle light poured through the heavens. Beautiful plants I'd never seen before embraced the light, stretching their leaves to the sky. They look like normal plants to me, but... The scene before me can only be described as an illusion, not at all part of reality. That little trellisy thing is awesome. The only things I could consider normal here were a few dishes on a larger table. As I stood confused, the person who walked up to me, unfazed by everything around me, was... Oh, Miser! Hey, welcome. Or in your case, I guess I should be saying, welcome back. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm glad to see you again, Spacey. Oh, it's nice to see you again, too. But more importantly, what is all this? Oh, this? Il and I went out to prepare all this. A special place for the tea party. Nice, Went all out to prepare this. I didn't read that right. We wanted to have a welcome party for you. It might be a goodbye party depending on what you decide, but that would be okay, too. Oh, I see. Well, thank you for preparing all of... Wait, no. You haven't explained a thing! What is this place? You can think of it as an illusion. There's no need to worry. You haven't been sent to another world or anything like that. We're definitely still inside Enchante. Il appears explaining things casually as I stare up at the endless sky. Huh. So that's something you can do too? I tried touching a few leaves of grass, and they felt real. I felt myself smile for some reason. My curiosity began to win over my surprise at this surrealistic scene. Is something the matter? Is something bothering you? Huh? Oh, no! I'm fine. It's nothing. By the way, where are the other two? I changed the subject to talk about the others. Those two have been over there, and they've been at that table for a little while. I head over to the table, led by Miser, and there I find... Ah, you've come. I'm pleased to see you again, Spacey. Glaring at us. The friendly Canis and seemingly irritated Ignis come to greet me. Ignis is looking in every direction but mine, so I'm not sure how much of a greeting it is. That's because he's totally in love with you. He looked upset, but I didn't think I could be the issue, especially considering I was so new to the cafe. Ignis, did something happen?
Oh, well, yeah, I guess. We just had an annoying customer come by a little before you arrived. They were so annoying. Just beat them up and ran them out of the shop.
Wait, you beat them up? A customer? For a business in the service industry to do something like this could be fatal.
How should we explain this?
It's quite alright, Spacey. Although they were guests of the shop, it was perfectly permissible to beat them up. Does such a guest even exist?
Well, let's just forget about that for now. Please have a seat, my princess.
It was Cowder, wasn't it? Huh? Thank you? Hesitantly, I sit on the chair Miser brought. A cup of aromatic tea is set before me. We should have stopped before this. This is going to be one of those parts we're going to have to cut at the end, like in the middle anyway. So here we are again. Thank you for coming today, Spacey. He grins, and I feel myself getting tense. I like how she's like, I don't know if I'm going to do it. You're absolutely going to take over this cafe or the game would be over. I'd like to thank you as well for inviting me.
Hell, I didn't even think you'd show up considering how suspicious of us you were.
I apologize about that. I cleared some things up with Miser after meeting everyone. For now, at least, I've come to believe everything about all of you. I noticed Ignis looking away in a pout. I hadn't gone to speak with anyone individually aside from Miser. It's understandable that the others might not like that too much. I lower my head toward them. Also, I apologize about yesterday. I left before finishing our conversation.
There was no need to worry. In fact, we were the ones who had decided to leave prematurely.
Besides, you did come back to visit, and that alone is more than enough for us. Miser laughs nervously at Ignis's demeanor before he begins to speak. Anyway, aside from talk about Enchante, I'm always happy to chat with you, Spacey. I'm sorry we can't provide much hospitality, but I hope this could be nice for you. Alright, that's where we're going to stop. We had the black pan. I know it's the same scene, but we're going to stop here because we're a little over time again. So anyway, I'm having fun with this. This is pretty interesting. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll just keep going through the common route for the next 5,000 parts. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.